This is Florida Natural Farming at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. I'm gonna give an update on the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti seedling plant I got from Redleaf Exotics a few months ago. Glad I got it. I love that plant. Figure it's kind of futile to talk about organic and biodynamic when I've been preaching about using rainwater to water my house plants so that I get ultimate health benefits from growing them as close to natural as possible. They do really well in compost we make here. It's an animal-based, holistically raised Zebu manure that ages in place. Static pile, small static pile. And it works great. But I was only using rainwater because it's the right pH, and I felt it was cleaner than the well water. Well, it probably is. Maybe not. Maybe the water and the air are the same dirtiness, probably. Would be my guess, but... So, everything grows in it. So this is the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti from Redleaf Exotics, seed grown. There's its original tag. And it has this original leaves. This is how big the leaves were when I got it. And one of them, it had 3 leaves, I think. I think maybe this, no, this wasn't an original leaf. Yeah, I think 2 of the leaves got eaten up. But it's growed up, and it's got all these leaves. It's easily one of my favorite plants, even its small little size, just because I have such a history with how I had to sell off a wooden bowl just to get the money to purchase it. A surprise find that my flea market finds, but that's another story. But here's the Philodendron bernardopozzi. These are all like juvenile forms, in case you don't know. I'm sure if you're watching this, you know that. So this is a little tissue culture of a Philodendron billietiae I got. It's doing good. I don't like to use plastic. But I do use it. It's hard to get away from me. It's in the air, so all that forever chemicals are in the air that exceed healthy limits. The rain, if it's in the rain, it's in the air. So it's just sad. This is a Philodendron atabapoense. This is one of the original leaves, and when leaves come that are got all this like stuff on them, I wasn't washing them, and I should have with some lactose bacillus lab that I make, or have. Just spray their leaves off, because that's fungicides and God knows what on there. And I found that the plants don't do very well when they have that, but this has new leaves on it. It's a new leaf, that's a new leaf, this is a new leaf. And here's our Philodendron Mexicanum. That's kind of the similar leaves, but when they get big, they get very weird shape, like start getting like that. But it's a nice plant. Super fast grower, super easy. They all are. All these dog-eared ones are super easy and fast growers, I found. If they're in finished compost, which is humus, so water moves right through it. So if water can move through it, your finger needs to be able to move through it, and it just pokes right through. So I could poke my hand all the way down to the bottom of the pot if I wanted. It's just nothing blocking it. And it only holds the correct amount of water. That's the beauty of humus. So it's not going to overwater your plant. I was feeling hopeless about the whole PFASs and everything, and then I read a MSN BC online had a thing on is your fake lawn greener, and that went into in-depth about all the forever chemicals that are in the fake lawn, and just loaded. It just was so depressing, and people put those in their yards and because they think they're doing the right thing, and then I've seen in LA people with their kids crawling across them, and these are like well-worn public places that they put them in, and then they're just forever chemical central. So they're replacing it with, rather than putting in a natural like forest habitat that could probably survive on its own if done correctly, they're putting in nature's replacement. And it's the oil industry, and they're going to have to go after these companies that make these products to tell them to take them out of our environments, our agricultural systems, the fabrics used in growing in organic systems. Is it on Omri? I don't know. They look at it like an implement. I don't even think they look at that kind of stuff. So I don't think you can be organic today since our rainwater is now polluted. And if those forever chemicals are in there, all those other nasty chemicals are in there too. So it's like, I felt hopeless. People put indoor greenhouses inside their houses with houseplants. That's why I talk about an organic way. But the organic way isn't very popular, and it gets gaslit by people on Facebook that are pro-chemical, and there aren't any pro-nature forces out there that counter the paid people to basically gaslight natural growing systems like we do here at Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. It's just so depressing. Just eventually nature's going to have to take front and center, because it'll be gone, and it'll be what people want. So here's Philodendron Felix. It's another dog-eared one. This is a really nice plant too. This is Philodendron pentatulobum. Similar. And then we have Philodendron Delsinki Eye, which is similar, but the leaves get kind of weird shaped as they mature. But that has the dog ears, I guess. That has dog ear right there. I think that's it of all those philodendrons that are shaped like that. This mexicanum is such a super fast grower. It's just shocking. It's very healthy looking. It's got a little bit of red under the leaf. The atabapoense has very dark under the leaves. This particular Philodendron Spiritus Sancti, it looks like it's the green version, which I like, because that's the one I see in other people's collections, old collections. And this Philodendron bernardopozzi, it's definitely different than than all of them. All of them are different, I can tell. There's just distinct things about each one of them. Philodendron Felix is a nice plant. I saw it's on sale at Equigenera right now. Of course, I think I paid full price for it, so, but maybe not. I'll have to look at my receipts. I don't care. I wanted it. It's doing good. It's grown a lot since I've had it. And it's a pretty plant. And it has green underneath. Deflexum is definitely green underneath, and Spiricosum is like so beautiful. It's red underneath, obviously. I love these things. I'm starting to get excited. So these issues with the PFAS, it kind of threw a wrench onto my whole channel. Like everything I've been talking about, the rainwater to water the house plants, and the rainwater not watering with well water. Well, if you're using the well water, you're getting a whole lot more. Well, maybe not. Possibly. Depends on how crowded the area is where you're getting your well water. But well water with rainwater probably is not good, I would guess. So we don't use any water. We don't water any of our plants. Outside. I water them in this room in here, obviously. I give them all a cup of rainwater a day. Some I give more. Some plants like a lot more. This Monstera Deliciosa albo, it was a node I planted and grew out, started it outside, and you know, like an inch-long node, maybe 2 inches max. No root on it, and it's growed up. It was turning green, so I moved it into the sun, and now the white on the main stem is finally going more white, where it was green for a while. It was white at first. So it's gonna send out a nice variegated nut, something like that. But I saw that Equigenera had these for sale for 300 bucks. Well, it looked a little smaller than this, but I thought, well, I did good because I only paid $150 for my node. So, but I had to wait for it to grow up. But that always is, it was a good learning experience for me on the aroids. So this is a Philodendron Gigantium that I had put outside. I planted outside because I had a Philodendron Gigantium Blizzard, you know, the variegated one. It's a new leaf on it. And then I bought a green one. So I planted it out there, but the drought got it. Because nursery started plants, they don't know how to like signal their environment for help. Because they're grown with chemicals, and so they don't form relationships with life in the soil. So it was at a disadvantage. I moved it back in here, and it's done great. It lost all its leaves outside, and so I'm like, I'm gonna dig that up and put it back in here. So the philodendrons and the anthuriums, they, in a biologically grown system, they grow mushrooms in their pots from our compost. And it usually happens when I overwater them. And I imagine that's just the mushroom taking the water and storing it. And probably minerals, and then depositing them at the top of the soil, I would guess. That's what's going on. But they're everywhere. They're in all the pots, different mushrooms. Not all the pots, but most of them. they don't hurt the plant. Here's a Anthurium waterburyonum. I wouldn't want this pot in my house because of the bugs that are in it. So it looks like that centipede is eating the mushroom. They're cool. I like them. I like the mushrooms. And I was kind of depressed about the PFASs that are in all of us, that is like pollution from plastic. Plastic pollution causes forever chemicals. And so I try to limit the amount of plastic I have, but I can't get away from it because it's in the rainwater. So the plants could probably get away from it because they grow, the naturally grown ones, because they grow mushrooms in their systems, in their roots. And the mushrooms, they're making my mouth water. The mushrooms are the controllers of the water and the transfer of nutrients to plants. Transfer of nutrients of plants that are outside the plant's reach, or the plant is unable to uptake them. So they're also able to block pollution, I believe. Since they're controlling the nutrients, they're not going to let a plant pathogen through. So forever chemicals. I would think that the fungi have the ability to filter them from the rainwater. I just started thinking about this. This is not a proven thing. It's my theory. So the fungi can filter the harmful pollutants, like forever chemicals, from rainwater and keep them out of the plant. So when you're using slow release or hydroponic chemicals, you don't have fertilizers, slow release fertilizers. You don't have, the plants do not have the fungi in their substrate or in their systems to filter pollutants out of their tissues. So they're just picking up the pollutants and putting them in the air. And that's why plants can't adapt to environmental changes. So I had to think about that PFASs in the rainwater, and just was because I was I mean, it's not what you want, but it's what we got. And it's because people don't care. They only care about their plant, their needs. And they don't think about the downstream effect of the pollutants, which has turned into forever chemicals in all rainwater. And then they think the fix to the problems are hugging the oil companies and putting down plastic lawns, which are loaded with forever chemicals, and don't grow fungi, and don't grow life, and don't support life. Because if you don't have the life in your soil, you're probably not going to have the life above ground for long that moves through the system, especially if it's living in a lifeless system full of pollutants. I don't know. People don't seem to get it, that you got to start planting trees, and you got to start respecting the soil and uncovering it and taking that plastic out of the organic and the inhabited spaces that we all live in. They're going to sue the oil companies that manufacture the stuff, since they're the ones that cause the damage. And we're all being damaged if our rainwater is completely polluted. I know that you can't probably do an organic farm now if everything was tested. But I think certain farm practices can limit your food's exposure to forever chemicals, even if you rely on rain for the rain for the I love these little orange rabbits, for your plant's water needs. Nature does have a solution, but the petroleum industry doesn't have the solution. So they just are too involved in the food. That's what's causing the problems. The pollution. So hot, and it's been so dry here, and it's just like I mean, I just have never seen anything like this in the summer. Normally we get like tons of rain, like tens of inches a week, and every week, and this year it's like drier than winter, or as dry as winter. The winter's drought period here in Florida, but seems like we're getting a drought now, but hopefully that will change. We've got all these trees here, which you can certainly see that it's like lush green underneath the big trees, but it's all dried up. Not dried up, but dried up for Florida. I mean, I can still see little seedlings that I shouldn't be able to see right now. This citrus, I think it's a pomelo. This little seed-grown egg fruit, where are you? Right there. The bug tried to attack it. The bug got it because it's got some drought stress going on. It's not because we have pest issues. We do not have pest issues. I see a little citrus back there. I'm pretty sure that this is the jumping jack tree. Certainly looks like it. Seed grown. Stuff's okay. I wish it would rain more. I want to get those the heliconias should have started, like, this is one I planted during the drought, during the winter, you know, a division. So it's doing good. But if we had rain, it would be like huge by now. I just divided this torch ginger, this big torch ginger that we don't water. And, you know, it was a drought when I divided it recently. This is full sun. Well, it gets some shade, but it gets more than 4 hours of sun. But it's doing good. I believe leaving the tops of the plants on your divisions helps the plant get moisture from the air down to the root zone of the rhizome, with the help of the fungi, of course. There's a pomelo. The fruit's hanging in there. We're getting fruit. I don't ever see myself being a fruit seller here long term. I just don't see it. I have no interest. The guy that was here the other day said, put a sign out, you'd sell all the fruit. I said, I have all the fruit I need to sell. I don't want that. That's not something, I don't know why I didn't think about that. But it's not going to be in a huge production for, huge, where it's like scary for another 10 years. But, all these achacha trees and quaimuc trees that are growing here, that are little now, but in 10 years they'll be producing. This Quaimak did not produce fruit this year. I'm not going to plant seeds from this one. Well, I can't if it doesn't have any fruit on it. It produced one fruit last year. It was the first time. It's a seed-grown tree. It's on the path. Being next to a mowed area like this is a compacted mowed area. See how brown the grass is? The mowed area. But yet the unmowed is, with all the plants, is kind of green. These bromeliads hold water for animals during times of drought. Some people don't like them because of the mosquitoes, but we have so many dragonflies here. I don't see those anywhere else now, that I don't worry about it. What kind of bee is that? That was an interesting bee. See if I can get it on there. It's obviously a ground dweller. Oh, it went inside this thing here. It went inside a little round stick. Interesting. I don't know, I like all the bugs and stuff. I'll go look at those houseplants that I know are alive growing out here, that I planted. The, Monstera, or not Monstera Deliciosa, I showed that yesterday. Philodendron Maximus, which was a nursery grown tree, or plant, tree. I'm just trying to talk about the houseplants mostly today, and about fungi. So our animal manures are loaded in fungi. See that little forest there? Probably not. Let me grow it. There. Look at all those little tiny spores. There you go. Look at that. It looks like a brush. I don't know. I hope that I'm right about the fungi being able to filter pollution from the plants. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to eat pollution and keep getting sick, I guess, or getting more sick. But whole thing's kind of scary. Here's some fungi. Something ate that one, so must be, does that mean it's edible? Maybe it was a bug that ate it, but it looked like it had a big mouth. Here they are. Yep. My God, I can't believe all these people putting down those fake lawns. They'd probably be better off if they put down a garden. Probably bring more moisture to them. Forest install. So this is a philodendron. This thing is suffering. I'm gonna give it some water probably. Philodendron cutting of the sharoniae. And it's like, it wants some water. Those are both new leaves, but those leaves grew when it was raining. Now it's like not very happy, as you can see. The cuttings that get planted in the winter do fine during drought. It's just bizarre. So this is a Monstera Subpanada. See it right there? A cutting I did, same time as that sharoniae, and it looks, that blue stick is it. And that green tip is new growth. So it looks like it's getting ready to that's it there too. Looks like it's getting ready to send out a new leaf, even during this drought. So, Monsteras are tough. That's what I've noticed. They are tough. It seems like probably one of the fastest, easiest to grow, like this Monstera Deliciosa. But it's all of them. We have some good ones. We have Monstera lechleriana, Monstera ikakoyagensis, Monstera Subpanada, which I just showed you, but I have a bigger plant inside. And then I got some other ones, I think. I know I do. Oh, Monstera Adansonii, which I love that plant. It's one of my favorites. Very inexpensive. I love that. Here's the Monstera, or the Philodendron Maximus. And this dead part is from when I had bought this at a nursery, and it was huge, and so I thought I'm going to plant it outside. But then the drought started, and I noticed most of my nursery plants outside were losing all their leaves. This one was one of them too. So I dug it up and moved it indoors and put it back in compost and rehabbed it for a while, but it just didn't look happy. So I moved it back out here, and it's new growth. Put it next to this tree. This huge, giant nitrogen fixing tree. And it seems to do fine, or it's doing fine, so I'm happy about that. The Monstera's on the other side. Monstera Deliciosa flowers. Anyway, this is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, Florida Natural Farming. Hope you have a beautiful day.